I've worked cases where a child was put in a dangerous situation by their parents. She says, and this little girl's like 5 years old, and you'd think it'd be really traumatic, but it's not from my point of view. She is super happy. She's there with a guardian angel. She's like, I don't want my parents to know where I am because they did this to me. I'm much happier over here with my guardian angels. Like, I have no desire to be found, and I have to honor that. Whereas then I'll get like Nikki McKinney, who was domestic violence victim, I believe killed by her husband. She comes through like a stinking freight train. Like, this is who killed me. This is how can solve my case. Please tell this person to do that. I'm in Lake Shasta. This is how they did it. There's surveillance footage of me in a Ace Hardware-like store. I mean, she'll open up like a can of worms. So everything is different.
Welcome back to the Hopeaholics podcast. I'm your girl, Natalie Eva Marie.
And I'm Chad Carlson, and you're listening to the #1 addiction and mental health podcast.
And you guys, if you or a loved one is struggling, make sure you head to askevamarie.com or chaddick.com and chat with one of our AI companions 24/7.
Or text the number right here on the screen.
Together, we are breaking the stigma around addiction and mental health.
And fighting the fentanyl epidemic.
Now, let's get into the episode.
Out in the country. So I grew up in Palm Springs. And through my husband's job, we were all the way just north of Nashville. Live on a farm.
That's awesome.
5 dogs, 2
Love
cats,
that.
chickens.
Oh, yeah.
It's so zen over there.
For sure.
Yeah. We love it.
Yeah, that's amazing. But your sister lives right over here?
In Los Flores.
Okay.
Nicole, welcome to the Hopeaholics podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I am so excited.
That's because you got good news right off the bat.
I did. I really did. Are you scared?
No. Mm-mm.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm rainbows and unicorns. I don't do anything scary. I'm like God, universe, source. Yeah. Rainbows and unicorns.
Okay. I like both of those.
Well, I have to give the just
like a brief.
Yeah,
something.
because so that people know exactly why we're talking the way that we're talking. Because right here it says that you are a naturally gifted intuitive consultant, psychic medium, and forensic psychic medium, CEO of Domestic Chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a chunk.
Domestic chaos. What's that?
Oh my gosh. My children, my third child, my husband. Mm-hmm. That is the Excel spreadsheet on legs. And 5 dogs, 2 cats, chickens, the juggle. That by far is my most difficult title.
For sure.
Psychic medium and stuff like that is like, wow, it's wonderful.
You're the second psychic medium we've had on here.
She is?
Yeah. Were you
I don't think I was around when you had...
the first one?
This is my first.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, before we get started, do you know why this podcast started?
Isn't it a sobriety?
Well, it is a sobriety podcast, but I lost my son-in-law, Justin, to fentanyl on 9/11 of 2022.
I saw that.
Yeah. So the last time there was a psychic medium here, he was like right here. I could like feel him. It was weird.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. They're always around us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime we think of our lost loved ones, they're fully aware of our thoughts as it pertains to them. So like they're not watching us in the shower, but like if you're like, hey, that could get awkward. Yeah. Good
Well,
morning.
not Justin, but like somebody else.
Right. But like Justin, if you're like thinking, hey, I really miss him, he's fully aware, and they advocate and network for us for our greatest good all the time on the other side because they understand how difficult it is here on earth. And their best parts of themselves are magnified on the other side. So like they can't be with heaven's general population without a life review where they experience the pain. We will experience the pain that we cause everybody. And
Jeez, I feel like I already experienced that.
Right.
Like
right.
I'm really sensitive to that
Good.
in this life
Yeah.
when I hurt people, because that's when I say that often on this podcast. Like
Yeah.
my biggest pain is not the pain that I've ever caused myself. It's the pain that I cause other people.
Absolutely.
You know, and I still do it today. I'm better. Like
Right.
when I, you know, obviously when in my active addiction,
Yeah.
I was not good.
Yeah.
But today I'm much better, but I'm extremely, which actually makes me a much nicer person today.
No question. No question. And I think we all hurt people, right? But hurt people hurt people. So if we're trying not to hurt, we're not going to hurt as many people.
But I kind of want you to keep going on what you were saying,
Yeah.
because this is very interesting to me about what almost you're giving us knowledge of what things that we have to walk through in the afterlife.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. So, Justin, anytime you think of him, he's fully aware and he's always advocating and networking on the other side with our other past loved ones and or our angels or our guides or whatever we want to call them. They understand our life's purpose and they're always advocating and networking for our greatest good so that we can live our best lives here on earth where we are disconnected from heaven, right? Or the other side or cross the veil, whatever you want to call it. So I'm a firm believer on like, there's no coincidences, right? Like, let's say you really miss Justin and all of a sudden his favorite song comes on and you're like, whoa, this is trippy. Well, that's him just like giving you a wink or like a little nudge, you know? Or if you're like, man, I'm at my daughter's wedding and I really wish Justin could be here. Well, nobody's going to get to marry your daughter without going through Justin first. Justin and his team on the other side. Now that's just figuratively, but I hope that's trying to communicate what I'm
Well,
trying
what's
to say.
interesting is it's been what are we coming up on 4 years? 2022 in September. My daughter just met a guy a few months ago, and this is like actually the first boyfriend she's had since his death.
He's very much like thumbs up. They've got it. Same thing with our animals, like our pets. If we lose a pet and it's like our soul dog or whatever,
Sure.
and you want to get a new puppy, well, that puppy has been like authorized and thumbs up by the other dog that has passed. Yeah. So it's really beautiful. They're really, really engaged and involved in our lives. We just have to be sensitive enough to feel it or understand it. Or, you know, a very common way that they communicate with us is in our dreams. You know, typically when somebody passes, the way that they reach out first is through a dream. Have you ever met Justin in your dreams?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure your daughter has.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And that's really beautiful.
I had a best friend die. His name's Tony Marquez. He died actually kind of similar around the same time Justin did, but a few years before, 2017, and 2018. And I was, shortly after he died, I was doing a yoga meditation, and I had like an outer body experience where I was literally up in this big giant green field, and all there was a picnic table, and
I love this so much. Side note, I'm like, this is amazing. You're so connected, dude.
So I'm like, I walk up and Tony's bouncing a little baby on his on him, and then like and then he looks at me and he says, the only thing that matters is love. And then
So
and then I boom pop back into reality.
yeah.
And then his family, I told them about this, and they all got tattooed on their body. All that matters is love.
I mean,
And I was trying to figure out who the baby is, because I've you know, like I had a brother that died as a baby, but I also had other stuff that, you know, in my past where I was wondering if that was my baby.
it could be. First of all, that's so loaded. One, the fact that you're meditating is the closest to heaven that, in my personal experience, that we can get. Meditation is amazing. And I know, like, I have really bad ADHD, so I can do guided meditations, and those are profound. And what I love about it is there's 9 million on the internet. So if you don't like your voice or whatever, just go on to the next. But like what you're saying, oh my gosh, 2 things. One, love is what truly matters. God is love. And what does our world do so fast? We're different. You against me. We're divided. We are at war. You're not like me. No. That's such a lie. We are all connected. We are all affecting each other. So that is major. Number 2, when I do readings for people, a lot of times I find that their grandparents who have passed are with their unborn children. Okay. So let's say you have a child and you're like, gosh, my Aunt Mary passed and I really wish she could have met my daughter. The truth is that they were together before your daughter came to earth. So they already know each other. So for instance, I did a reading for a close friend and I said, your grandmother is so obsessed with your daughters that they had so much fun in heaven all together. Tea parties, dress up, like they were just girling out, like slumber party all the time. And I said, your grandmother loves being with them so much that she comes and sits down in your living room just to watch the girls, like just to be around them. And my friend shows me the chair. She goes, this is where she sits. This is our open chair. Like, that is a trip. But like, it could be your future granddaughter or your grandson. You never know. But it's not by chance that was shown to you. Sometimes we're given information and it might not make sense, but I know psychics that have gotten information on 1984, and that's just now coming to fruition in 2026. Wow. So, yeah.
I do always feel like so let me just a real quick like background about my childhood. I grew up in a religion where psychic was the devil.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm in the deep south. So I'm like a full-on witch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same in like Mexican culture. Like, you never go. You don't want to. Not basically the fallacy is that it opens up a window to like demons.
Yeah. That's what
like fear and control.
Yeah. Which I'm not a part of that religion anymore. So that's my background on that. But I've also like, so then I got addicted to meth at a very young age. I had a lot of trauma. But I've always actually felt like what you just said. I've always felt like and there's been times in my where I know demons came through too, but in like the good versus evil was literally fighting for me in front of me. In the midst of a, meth-induced psychosis. But I've always felt like I'm a lot more sensitive than your average person to that stuff.
Well, you're meditating and you're seeing visions, if you want to open up and you might say like, there's no way I'm psychic. One, we're all psychic. It's our soul's native language. That's why I love the telepathy tape so much. Have you guys listened to that podcast? It's about like autistic children and their spiritual gifts, and it is amazing. But the fastest way to open up and to enhance your spirituality or your sensitivity is every time meditation.
Which is actually quite fascinating because it's one of the like pillars or what is suggested in the 12-step AA program is to pray, to meditate, and then, other suggestions. But I mean, now that you're saying it makes me, because I've always had a difficult time meditating just because my brain's always moving around and stuff like that.
You need guided meditation, not like, just like her. You're ADHD, your brain's going 1,000 miles an hour. And to give you guys context, my meditation that I was doing, it was a yoga guided meditation that turned into music. And by the time it was to the music part, that's where I left my body. It was just like, I was somewhere else. And it takes me a minute too. I prefer somebody to walk me through it, but then you can, get to the end and you're just,
so zened out.
Zen.
So zened out.
Yeah.
What's great is that they're walking you through this process, and it kind of tells your mind where to go. Like, you're walking down this path. So I'm thinking about walking down this path instead of my grocery list.
Sure.
Who's going to pick up my kids and the dogs, XYZ. But then it leaves open space for the message that's supposed to come to you at the perfect time, you know, and your experience in guided meditation and your experience in guided meditation could be completely different. And what's so amazing is that we can all do the same meditation, but get completely different information, but it pertains to us precisely. It's crazy. It's like exactly what we need to hear when we need it. So I'm a huge fan.
I want to go back to, how did you realize that you had this ability, you had this gift?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how does one know?
Yeah. Okay. So my grandmother is one of 7 sisters, and they're all very psychic. So I think like athletes, right? Your athletic genes could be hereditary. But I also think like your spiritual genes could be hereditary. Not to say that like, I do believe everybody's psychic, but it was just something I was always around growing up. I would wake up before earthquakes when I was a child. I would walk under like streetlights or drive under streetlights, and all the streetlights would just go turn off. And now knowing what I know now, that like everything is energy, that tracks, but it really freaked me out. Like I was scared. I would go to Disneyland and then wouldn't go on the haunted house because it would just freak me out so much, because I'm like, I don't want to, you know, like,
Yeah.
it was scary to me. But then when I had my first mediumship experience, it was the exact opposite of anything I would ever imagine. I was waking up one morning, and the best way I can explain it is if we all shut our eyes and somebody walked in the door, you can feel them. Right? You can tell if it's like an adult or a child or an animal, or so New York feels different than Florida, right? So this woman essentially walked in my room, and she felt like a homemaker. She felt like a teacher. She felt like the Pacific Northwest. She felt like she had breast cancer. How does breast cancer feel? I don't know, but it was like an overwhelming feeling. And then the only visual that I got was a vase with like little glass and shell pieces. What I now know is that was beachcombing. And I was like, and I got the name Jill. I'm like, who in the world is Jill? I don't know a Jill. And start racking my brain, and I text my mom and dad. I'm like, oh my gosh, our next door neighbor in Palm Springs, her name was Jill, but I don't know her last name. They give me her last name. I Google it, and her obituary pops up. She was a teacher. She was a homemaker. She passed in the Pacific Northwest, and her friends gather annually to beachcomb, which was their favorite pastime. So that was like my foundation. That was my baseline. So I'm like, I'm not going crazy. You know, the obituary is confirming everything that I'm seeing. Although it did totally freak me out. It was the most loving, kind, peaceful, nothing like what I thought the haunted house would be like. More along the lines of like, I'm interacting with like a fully healed, unconditionally loved presence. And it was just very comforting. You know, they're not broken the way that we are broken here. So it's kind of like preferable.
That's crazy. That just gave me the chills of just how dialed that experience was to who you previously lived next to.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, we used to bake cookies from scratch.
How old were you at that time?
I think like my late 30s.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. And then it just took off from there. I would do readings for friends, and then word of mouth would get there. And then some friends are in law enforcement, and then local law enforcement would get in touch with different cold cases, and that would turn into like 3-letter agencies, and then PIs would reach out, and then started to get like a reputation, and it's just taken off. And before I was a tennis pro, like I'd never imagined my life being the way it is. And here we are. And it is like, I feel like it chose me. And not only that, it's a million times happier than I could have ever been. Like I grew up in Palm Springs, and now I live on a farm. And I talk to animals. I mean, like it's a trip, you know?
What? This is wild. Okay,
Yeah.
You grew up in Palm Springs.
Yep.
You have siblings.
Yep. 2 sisters.
Do they have the abilities as well, or are you the chosen one?
Well, I'm not chosen. I just spend more time in it.
Okay.
You know, like
Okay.
if something's happening to one of my sisters, we can feel it.
Right.
Yeah. So like my little sister and I, something's going on with my older sister. We're like, what's going on? We're just like very connected. But I do meditate. You know, I try to meditate daily. I think I'm just investing a lot of time in my sensitivity. And I think if everybody invested a lot of time in their sensitivity, you'd be doing readings too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what is exactly a reading? Like, what does that mean?
Fascinating. Okay, so what I do is per my ADHD, somebody will book an appointment. If they want a regular reading, might want mediumship readings, they might want psychic readings, or I can be contacted by an agent, a federal agent, and that it's all different, right?
Right.
Every reading is different, but if I'm doing like a generic reading, let's just say for you, Natalie, I sit down with my headphones on, I kind of get into a meditative state, and I take a pen and paper and I just start writing down everything I'm getting. I start with your date of birth and do basic numerology, and then that just kind of opens me up, and then I start getting information. Based on the same way that Jill kind of came through, I'm just focusing on your energy. And then sometimes loved ones come through, sometimes loved ones don't come through. Every reading is different, but then I will have a phone call with you, or I'll sit down with you, or have a Zoom call, go over all of the information we can discuss, and then I send you all of the notes just for your reference. And then, you know, like cold cases or XYZ, that just looks a lot different. That's just me sitting down with a victim. And then the victim will come through to provide missing links to help solve their case. If they, in fact, want it solved. Like a child was put in a dangerous situation by their parents. She says, and this little girl's like 5 years old, and you'd think it'd be really traumatic, but it's not from my point of view. She is super happy. She's there with a guardian angel. She's like, I don't want my parents to know where I am because they did this to me. I'm much happier over here with my guardian angels. Like, I have no desire to be found, and I have to honor that. Whereas then I'll get like Nikki McKinney, who was domestic violence victim, I believe killed by her husband. She comes through like a stinking freight train, like, this is who killed me. This is how I can solve my case. Please tell this person to do that. I'm in Lake Shasta. This is how they did it. There's surveillance footage of me in a Ace Hardware-like store. I mean, she'll open up like a can of worms. So everything is different.
That came through? Like,
oh, yeah.
That amount of information came through from...
That was like my first cold case that I worked. Yeah. She's a baddie.
Wow.
Baddie. She wants resolution for her family. She wants justice, and I'm like, nobody's getting in her way. This is all going to go down. Yeah.
That is wild. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so wait. This is so fascinating to me. So you started so you were a tennis pro, and then all of a sudden, what, I guess, came to you where you started to dive into really giving this... bringing it to other people, from, you know, individuals to now, you know, working with these big guys, solving cases and things that are really important.
So like I said, I would have dreams that would happen. So like in college, I had a dream where I got into a car accident, and 2 weeks later I get into a car accident.
No, see, that would scare me.
That did kind of scare me, but that was when I was like 20.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm in my 40s.
Right.
And what really opened my eyes is my son, who's autistic. I hate to say that because I'm like, that is his story. That's for him to say. He's fully high functioning. He's in regular classes. I love him. He is brilliant. But when he was really, really small, we'd be lost, right? And I'm like, gosh, Norm, like, I have no idea where we're going. He's like, Mom, just pray to God and he'll tell you the way to go. And so he would start praying. And then he's like, Mom, just take a right and a left. I'm like turning around, like looking in the back seat, and he would be right. And he has like a thing with animals. Like he is like the animal whisperer. Like he has a cat that's like way in the woods, and he yell out of his window like, Pickles, come here. I've never touched Pickles. Pickles like is like not my jam. The animals respond to him in a way that is unlike anything I've ever seen. or seen. So that just really kind of like refreshed my memory. And then based on that, I kind of just got into like a deep dive. And then I came across a podcast with Angela Ford. She's on the Sean Ryan show. And she worked for the government as a psychic during like Stargate. And so the Cold War, she would find all of this information where submarines would be. And I just thought it was so fascinating because the government world and the psychic world are like polar opposites, speaking of division, right? And I reached out to her and I said, hey, do you ever do readings? She did. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. She gave me a reading. And the first thing she said was, Nicole, you're completely psychic. I would love to train you. Do you know what remote viewing is? I'm like, huh? Like what? I'm like drinking my coffee. Like, ooh. I had no idea what remote viewing was. And what I know now is, let's say, okay, Angela said, please, I've got a target. She writes it down, puts it in an envelope and says, please access and describe target 1356, whatever it is. You just make up the target number. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? And she says, just start drawing what comes to your mind. Well, the first time I tried it, I did it. And so she just like said, hey, you need to keep practicing. She really took me under her wing. She's my mentor. She's incredible. She's so legit that I'm like, she's like my fairy godmother, you know? And she really took me under her wing and said, hey, I'm working on a case. I'm bringing Nicole on her. And so she really went out for me, and I love her. I mean, she changed my life.
I mean, that is a wild story.
Yeah.
Because it really took from you hearing this woman on a podcast, right? Initially?
Yeah. And who in a million years would think she would write back?
Right.
And who in a million years like writes, you know, like, hey, Angela, #1 fangirl, you know, like, yeah. It's crazy.
And it's not like it was on some low, nobody listens to podcasts. Like it's a very
Sean Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
so the
big
likelihood of her responding to your message is also not coincidence. And then for her to immediately say, okay, to a reading.
Yeah.
And then the first thing she says is like, oh yeah, you're dialed.
Yeah. And now she'll like reach out to me and say, oh, my friend's dog is really, really sick. And she's like, Nicole, will you see what's going on with the dog? And I'm like, Angela Ford is calling me to find out what. It's wild. It's really neat. She's introduced me to the most amazing people. Consciousness or energetic world is not exclusive to anyone. It's not exclusive to humans. It's not exclusive to animals. It's not even exclusive to plants. Like we are all, every living thing has a soul, consciousness, and we're all connected.
This episode is brought to you by Wolfpack Bags. This gear is meant for anybody gym, lifestyle, to anybody that's on the move. I mean, I like to say that us here and everybody that tunes in, we're not average. We're always a wolf. They have all the goods that you need, especially for anybody that is looking for a bag to carry their meal prep, a lunch pail, anything like that. They have you covered. So once again, go to wolfpack.com, use the code Hopeaholics, save 10%, and join the pack.
And living out in the country has really solidified that. Like people talk about, you know, being out in the woods is my happy place, or I go to the ocean, it's so peaceful. Well, that's just because like all of our interactions are an energetic exchange. Whereas like if we're around the ocean is pouring into us, right? We're getting filled up, our cup's being filled up. Same thing with being in the woods. So being out in like a rural setting for me personally with my ADHD, it's so quiet. I'm just in a really great situation to be able to be aware and to listen.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's the stigma around psychics and
totally,
mediums and whatever you want to say. But even though it has been highlighted with especially cold cases and forensic and doing like really, really amazing work, that without you guys, then things would not even be solved, or they would just be open cases.
Yeah.
So there's been obviously that proof. But okay, is there like a scary element? Like, is your husband like, okay, is something bad gonna happen to me today? Or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, do people ask you that?
right?
Okay, so like I can tell, for instance,
Don't go out today.
Right.
yeah,
Stay home.
Stay home.
it's not, I haven't gotten this like overwhelming.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll walk into a place and be like, I don't like being here, like I'm out of here.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
But like I was doing a reading for a friend's husband, and I do a body scan also. So like I start at your head and then I go all the way down your shoulders and like check in with all your organs. I do this with animals too, all the way down. This gentleman, I was like, you have high blood pressure, you have high cholesterol, you really need to watch your heart. You know, like, so stress, we need to like eliminate stress. Everybody has stress, right? Red meat, we need whole foods. And so I'm like, you probably should go to the doctor, you know. At the time, I did not know his father and his grandfather passed away from heart conditions. And he then goes to the doctor, needs more tests, and does have a heart condition. And then like the wife reaches out to me and is like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for that. We had no idea. Now we have a heads up to be proactive instead of reactive on the other end of things. So things like that happen, but not like you're going to break your arm today
Right.
or get in a car accident. You know, everybody has free will. But yeah, I've never had a scary experience. Thank God. That's like protection, you know.
How often are government agencies skeptical, like, versus like, we need this type
Question.
thing?
So interestingly enough, an FBI agent is not going to go on the stand to testify and say, hey, this psychic told me
Yeah.
this, right? Like, we need proof beyond proof beyond proof beyond proof. So if we can provide them with proof, they then can use the proof and then testify on the proof, right? So a lot of it is hush-hush. A lot of it is confidential. I work a lot of cases where, you know, there's NDAs involved, which I'm totally fine with, you know. But yes, it is like local law enforcement, you know, they might be a little bit more apt to tell a party story that they worked with a psychic, but like, you know, the higher up in the government that you go, the less likely they are to spill their beans. Nonetheless, you'd be surprised how often it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does working in such like high profile cases and doing that kind of work from like human trafficking to homicide to missing person cases, like how does that affect you like individually, you know, especially like you're a mom, you're a wife, and I can't imagine seeing certain things would kind of diminish that energy.
Sure. Great question. And what's wild is that I feel so protected. And like when I say that, like the love and the care that goes in from the other side for us, like common sense would say you're a mom. If you're working a missing child case, like that's got to wreck you. It's actually, my perspective is I'm trying to bring resolution for the client. A lot of the times the client is a family member or a friend of a family that just wants information. I don't tune in unless I have permission from the family or a family representative. And I'm really spared from the emotions. Like with the Nikki McKinney case, she showed me like I was like sitting up here, like watching a movie. And it's like I'm watching a stranger. I'm completely unaffected emotionally. I'm just watching and gathering the information. So if I was feeling everything that they were feeling, dude, I'd probably be in the loony bin,
right?
You know? But I'm not. I'm just gathering information. So sometimes it's a feeling, sometimes it's visuals, sometimes it's absolute knowing. It just depends. So like they know what I can handle.
Yeah.
Which is, thank you. Like, because otherwise I'd be a mess, you know? And I have a history of drinking. So if I was drinking to cope, it would be nasty. But as everything is energy, there's good energy and bad energy. I want good energy around me. And for me personally, alcohol is negative energy for me. Therefore, like, I haven't drank. And it's wonderful.
It's negative energy for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's such a downer. Like, I have a hard enough time as it is. Like, why do I need, like, more downer vibes?
What made you come to that realization, though, that, like, to put down the drink, or that you felt like
Yeah.
you were drinking too much, or maybe it was interfering with your work.
Yep.
Or yeah.
John Edwards, as wild as that is, I was
Oh my
listening
God.
to his book, and he was saying everything is energy. And you hear it a million times, like everything's energy. You're like, okay. But if you think about it, like now I want like healthy food in my body, right? I want whole foods. I don't want processed foods.
Yeah.
So like when I look at processed foods, it feels like a downer vibe instead of like a fresh watermelon or like a banana or an avocado or like Brussels sprouts from my garden. Like that is good vibes for me. I'm not judging anybody who eats processed food.
Sure.
Lord knows, like when Chick-fil-A drive-through
Right.
on a regular basis with my kids. Yes. In and out while I'm here. I'm like,
Amen.
I mean, In
Yeah.
and out is I've put that into the healthy category for me.
yeah.
Right.
You know, it gives me good vibes. It gives me good energy. I literally had a double on Sunday night.
Yeah.
So it's two Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just very, very happy and
So happy.
satisfied.
So happy. Okay. So like energetically for my soul, in and out
Right.
does wonders.
And that's good vibes, though.
That's
for
great
you.
vibes
Yes.
for me.
Yes.
Somebody who is like struggling with like body image
Sure.
and all this stuff like that, thank God, is not me at this current time. So in and out, heck yeah.
Right.
But I'm also on vacation.
Sure.
You know, so like my day in and day out, I want good vibes. And that includes at the end of the night, my drink is not a high five for like, hey, you made it. It's actually bad vibes, and I'd probably rather meditate. And that's just where I'm at. And I had nothing to do with this. This is all like where I've been brought, you know? So I'm not judging anybody who is drinking or using whatever it is. Like we all have our thing. But for me, I'm really thankful that I get to show up as my best self for my husband, for my kids, for my clients, for my life, you know? Otherwise, if this wouldn't have all happened, I would be, you know, 3 White Claws deep on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you come
At noon.
At noon. Yeah. Did you go sports?
Did you come to that realization just off of listening to the audiobook from, because you know everybody has different moments of clarity at
Yeah.
different times.
Sure.
From making a decision, or especially a big one in their lives, and you listening to an audiobook by John Edwards, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Such a trip, huh?
Yeah,
like
right.
90s.
Yeah, like
What's
the-
up?
like
Yeah.
the
I love
odds.
him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That it just like clicked in you that was the bad vibes that you were gonna put down.
Yeah.
Was the alcohol.
Yep.
It just came to you just from that.
Well, when it clicked with me, it
Yeah.
wasn't just the alcohol. I checked everything I'm
Okay.
doing. Like,
Sure.
you know, watching trash TV sometimes is like, Angelo and I talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, we need to binge TV sometimes just to check out.
Yes.
You know?
Uh-huh.
And what might be toxic for some people, Housewives, is hilarious to me.
Sure.
And it is what I do to check out. In the same way, everything that I'm consuming, I would like to consume to help me, not to hurt me, because I'm already having a hard enough time.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's not just food that I'm consuming and drinks. It's like what I'm giving my attention to. Like I don't watch the news.
Right.
Stress.
Right.
I mean, like, no, it's too much.
It's
But it's meant to do that.
it's propaganda.
It is.
It's propaganda that's meant to divide, and it's nonsense. I mean, I can occasionally I'll flip it on just because I want to see what's happening, but
Yeah.
as soon as they start repeating, like as soon as they start talking about anything that's not, so it doesn't matter what news channel you listen to. You listen to CNN, they're going to talk negative about Donald Trump. You listen to Fox News, they're going to talk negative about everybody else in the Democrat Party right now. And it's like, but there is some in between that. There's some snippets of what's really going on in this world.
Totally. You're right.
I search for the snippets
Yeah.
and I leave the rest of it. But ever since I stopped watching it,
Game
my
changer.
life is so much more zen.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I'm not worried about anybody else's political view. I could literally care less.
I could care less, and I would like to know about the human being in front of me instead of their political affiliation. I could give two shits.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Now
too
I
much.
did watch the fights because those were really good. And it was
That's
like,
different.
the fight.
Yeah, that's different.
It was the first time I've ever watched it, and I'm not a huge UFC guy. I do like Sugar Sean,
Sure.
but it was the first time I've ever watched a full, beginning to end, and every single person got TKO'd or knocked out.
Well, not only that, I was looking,
None of them went the distance.
I was looking at it more of just like it's a once in a lifetime for like the athletes and their families to be walking out on an entrance to their profession out of the Oval Office. Like what?
Huh? Yeah.
That's like that's
insane.
Dana White,
right?
Dana
Yeah.
White
Like, damn.
said
Can't do it
that
again.
he'll never do it
Yeah.
again. No,
Yeah, because
he can't afford it. He said.
I can only imagine.
Oh gosh. I get it. But you know what's interesting is that like you hear all of the talk now, not to go from the White House, but
Sure.
kind of segue into veterans. Like,
Oh, yeah.
have you guys seen that documentary in Waves of and War?
No.
It is amazing. It's about like these SEAL team guys who have, one guy was on 60 prescription medications per day, dealing with his PTSD and his reentry after like 20 years in the SEAL teams. And one of the guys, Capone, I can't remember his first name, goes down. His wife is like begging him to go and try psychedelics down
yes.
in Mexico.
Yes.
Okay, you guys, I have never done this, but on an energetic level, what I'm hearing about Ibogaine and DMT in a controlled medical setting, I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
And I love that like veterans are getting like this care and it's getting like mainstream attention. But what I would love for is these 3-letter agencies, these guys have PTSD too.
Sure.
And domestic violence women, I mean, everybody, PTSD.
So many people have PTSD that that can addicts have PTSD.
brain injuries, you know?
Yeah, I've so we do and have done for the last like 5 or 6 years a lot of work with veterans. We have a contract with the VA.
Amazing.
And I have seen. I'm also a fan of ketamine.
Yes.
In the same
yes.
kind of controlled environment, not what Matthew Perry was doing.
Right.
Literally in a doctor's office with an IV, and it being done correctly. I have seen it just relieve and reset people's PTSD.
I get like emotional about it because it is such a tool and it's freeing so many people of what holds them captive, you know? And I've never done it. I cannot wait to do it on an energetic level. Like I'm ready to hit like the campaign trail.
It's actually interesting because one of my acquaintances, Ryan Birdman, he's a former SEAL. He's done it, and so he called me right after he had done his experience because obviously, you know, being seeing a lot of things that these guys see is not like what a normal average individual gets to see. And he was struggling in his life, and he went down. He's done it twice, and when he came back, his entire spirit, everything was completely different. Now, obviously, you have to continue working on yourself and stuff like that after the process. But now speaking with you, because I was always like skeptical to it, just because obviously like me incorporating drugs or any type of substance, like
totally.
I don't think that's
it's like
for me.
addictive tendencies.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
And so, and I had expressed that to him as well. But now talking to you, it has opened, and then seeing the change in him, it opens me up to allowing these individuals to almost have an experience that you are having, where it's like you're going into a heavy meditated state of wherever it's God is taking you at that moment. For him, it was a lot to do with like former teammates or other individuals that you hold on to that they're like, I'm good, buddy. Like,
it's incredible. I can't recommend the documentary more highly. It's called In Waves and War. And what's fascinating about this is that, you know, so many documentaries of veterans, right? This one goes into the dynamics of their marriage, their children's perspective, the before and after. So it's not just like the SEAL team guys on the battlefield and they come back. No, this is like their wives pleading. Like if this is, you've done rehab, you've done all these other things. this is like our last shot.
Sure.
And then they come back and have this experience. And it's the closest thing that I've heard of to a meditative state, right? Like what you're saying in your yoga meditation, to me, that sounds like a trip.
Right.
Yes. And I'm like, it's the same thing. You're just connecting to a deeper level of consciousness, I believe.
That you potentially probably have tried to block off.
Yeah,
and not
exactly.
visit and not open.
Exactly,
Because we're
yes.
capable of doing that also.
Well, because
Yes.
in your conscious mind, these places are scary. So you do shut them down, and you can't shut them down. And then let's exacerbate the problem by putting them on 60 pharmaceutical meds that
Right.
are chemical warfare.
Yeah.
Because like I'm gonna sit here and not tell you that I'm not a fan of big pharma.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of let's try different things that such as Ibogaine, such as ketamine, and other things to because like if you're doing this for a period, a very short period of time, and it's helping, and you're not having to take another pill every day.
Yeah.
This is good. It's good for us. It's good for the veteran. It's good for PTSD. It's not good for big pharma's pocketbook.
Oh, yeah. And then there's the conflict of interest, right?
Right.
Yeah. Drop the mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
A really big conflict of interest.
Major.
Because the government pays big pharma. So the way the system works with veterans, they come back and oftentimes I know this for a fact. We get their bag of it's 3 gallon, couple 3 gallon bagfuls of medication when they arrive.
Yeah.
I also think it's so much more than that too, is where doctors also want to just put band-aids on a lot of things and thinking that a pill is going to solve something or this, that, or the other, when in actuality it's like it's science and chemistry. So you're really trying to play with something that every single person's brain is wired differently.
Yes.
So that's why pills or antidepressants or whatever it may be works very differently amongst each individual. And like why even if you go on to say like an SSRI, you should work very closely with your doctor so that way they can see how you're like monitoring how you're doing on it, because it also increases suicidal ideation. It also increases depression. It also increases all of the things that you're trying to take the pill to negate. So it's like, I also feel like Western medicine, it's trying to do more holistic things instead of going straight to a pill, because as we age and as we grow, our hormones are shifting. Our brain chemistry is shifting.
Yeah.
Are we looking at those things first as well too? That's a huge one that I've found. In like when you start to talk about other things too, you can bring in peptides, right? Like peptides are in my life, I'll speak from my own experience, they have been a game changer. I'm 52 years old. Most 52-year-olds my age have high blood pressure, cholesterol.
Yeah.
They're taking, 3 to 5 pharmaceutical medications. Their testosterone levels are probably one of the biggest problems because they're not checking it. And if you're going to the doctor and you're talking about Western medicine, 300 to 900 is the standard, right? Well, I can tell you as a man, if your testosterone levels are at 400 or 500, you're not feeling very manly.
Okay.
Your depression is here. There's things that are here.
Yeah.
And these things were just game changers for me.
Right.
But what makes it even more, I guess, enticing and in my eyes is how much Big Pharma and everybody else is going after the fact that these things are bad in their research, and they're not.
Right.
They haven't been fully bullshit. They haven't been fully tested. These peptides have been around for 20, 30 years, some of them.
But these psychedelics have been around for like 400 to 500 years, right?
Sure.
And the thing is,
Plant-based.
plant-based. They're
Yeah.
natural. They're not cooked in a lab somewhere.
Yeah.
And the thing is, okay, so what does our society tell us? Don't feel. Shut it down. Be tough. You know? That is a symptom.
More government conspiracy of control.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, like, where's our foil hat?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, totally. And then what did these experiences, meditation, in a medical setting of Ibogaine, DMT, we're getting to the root of the problem. We're treating the issue, not the symptom. And it's just like,
The issue, the
the
real issue.
Yes.
Not the symptom.
Right. And then we're having real results.
Real
Yeah.
results.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan is he's got some. Thankfully, he has a big voice where sometimes he can say something and people actually hear him. But
Yeah.
the Ibogaine with veterans, he is an advocate for big time.
Same with like during certain things that you have to go to other countries for. There's a shout out to, I believe it's called Ways to Wells. It's in Austin, and he's a huge fan of doing like stem cells and things of that nature for recovery and not having to get surgery on, shoulders or something on your body and flying out of the country to go do that.
Right. Like, we don't want to go to Mexico for our dental work,
Right.
let alone like
Right? Like, what are we doing?
stem cell research.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, first off,
yeah.
why can't we do stem cells here? Secondly, why can't we do Ibogaine here, right here in this country, and do it properly and safely and effectively?
Yeah. I hear that they're like, there is a couple places, I think it's Colorado and Oregon right now where you can do it in the United States.
Yeah, there's a few. Colorado, I know Oregon, and possibly those at Washington.
Yeah.
They have legalized the use of psychedelics. California, I think is also pretty close. But that's a big controversy here in
Oh,
California because we're, and then there's the Matthew Perry thing.
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah. I mean, but look at alcohol.
Right?
it's
I mean, it's insane. Yeah. No, totally. Or smoking, whatever it is,
Very true.
vaping.
But vaping. Oh, I'm at batteries. I'm like, I can't. Yeah. I'm like,
Our
okay.
cell phones. Wait, no.
Yeah. Wait. Yes.
But I mean, you bring up a good example is that alcohol is the number one thing that we glamorize and put beautiful ads. It's in movies. It's in TV shows. And we,
Sexy.
Yes.
It's
Not
amazing.
except for when I drink.
Right.
Oh God.
For sure.
It's the opposite
not.
of sexy.
Exactly.
It's like handcuffs and cops
Exactly.
chasing me.
And I'm punching an elephant.
Yeah, you're right. Thinking it's
I
a
would
good idea.
literally punch an elephant
Yeah.
on tequila.
No question. I'm riding an elephant, actually. Yeah.
But they don't show that dying of cirrhosis of the liver is the most disgusting, sad, miserable death that you can do. And
It's hundreds of thousands of people a year that die from alcohol related disease.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's so sad. A lot of my readings, addiction, PTSD, and misogyny. And people like don't even know.
What's that?
Misogyny?
Do you know?
I just know when I get a massage, I like it, but I don't know what
No,
massage.
it's like
No.
anti-women.
Yeah.
Oh, that's silly. I love
Right?
women.
Right? Yeah, we love women.
Like, what's
But
wrong with
it's
No, but you would be like, you haven't heard like I can't even pronounce it.
misogynistic tendencies.
Misogynist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I've
like
been hearing them
misogynistic males.
talk
Like
about specific people in the
yeah,
Yeah.
world.
it's a big one
Misogynistics, yeah.
Especially in the South. I mean,
for sure.
it's crazy.
Is it like manly though? Because that's like that's not what I think of as a dominant alpha male, is somebody who treats women bad. I think a dominant alpha male actually protects.
Well, that's secure masculinity. Insecure masculinity would be misogynistic because they're threatened. Or it's not just men and women. It's anytime, we're insecure. Somebody is threatening our safety, then we're going to come at them. But it's wild in the South. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
it is. And I feel so bad for my daughter because I'm like, you're a real baddie. Like you're going to take them down. And they just try to keep her small and small and small. And it's like, guys, you're missing out.
How so you live in Bowling Green?
Bowling Green, Kentucky.
That's where Aurora went to that trauma
Oh, okay.
treatment center.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I forget what it's called, but it's there.
I'll have to look it up.
The
Riverdale?
bridge.
The bridge.
The bridge. My daughter went there because she was like, she got suicidal. It's been about a year and a half ago.
I think so.
And she reached out to one of my, is the best thing that's happened to her.
Amazing.
To be honest with you, she did all the. They do deep trauma work there. That's
Now, do
all
you
they
do like
do.
ketamine and stuff?
They don't do that.
Okay, so it's all like talk therapy. Amazing. I'll have to check it out.
Yep.
And I feel like meditative too, where like you're going back and you're talking to whatever.
Like
Oh yeah,
inner
they
child.
do all that.
Yeah.
They do inner
Yeah.
child work. They do all that.
Right.
That's
all that good
awesome.
stuff. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, those are my people.
Inner child work. So I want to really quick though, just you had said something before the podcast started about Natalie, and I want if you're okay with it, I want to, because it sounded really nice.
They're
And I
always
know
really
lots of things that are happening in her life. And for you to say what you said actually like makes sense.
Weird. So strange.
Because there are some really cool things that potentially could be happening in her life. There's something that already happened that was really bitching, which could also open up so many doors when that time comes, when it actually gets, it's a TV show and when it gets aired. Everybody knows that part about it.
I don't.
I'm not like breaking the news.
has no idea.
I'm not breaking news, but
Yeah.
there's so many other things. And I mean, she just told me something like yesterday, I think it was yesterday, about your manager.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, they have never lied to me on the other side. And the trust that has been developed, it's like I trust what they say more than I trust.
Me.
I'm really blowing my own spot here. But like, no, I felt it when I walked into the building. I was like, she's got some cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I think that you're aware of them. But I don't think that you're aware of how profound the opportunities will be on the tail end of things. Like you're going to look back on your life and be like, that was real awesome. And like, you don't know what you don't know, which is probably for the best. So you don't get nervous and everything. But I just think you have a lot of amazing doors opening up for you. And it's going to be really well received.
I love that.
I love that too.
And of anybody that I personally know right now, and I know like her history over the last just probably like 10 years, but I've only, I've known her for coming up on 3. She deserves it.
Yes.
She's
Good
very
vibes.
very deserving of it. Yeah. Very good vibes, good human being.
Integrity, principles,
Yep.
uncompromising on those. You're not
Yep.
going to sell out. You are who you are, and you stand on that. And that people love authenticity.
Yep.
Regardless if it's
She's not
perfect.
a sellout.
No, and nobody respects a sellout.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's going to be great for you, and your future family and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
See, I was mad.
She said future. She said future
I
family.
know.
You heard her, Emily?
No coincidences. I needed you today.
Yay! Yeah.
Or at
Weird.
this
They like
time
knew that on the
this
other
Is she
side.
or
pregnant?
something.
What was that?
Is she pregnant?
No.
Oh, dang it.
No.
You would know?
No. I sometimes I can feel it.
How crazy is it for you? Because I'm sure friends, family know what you do, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like, if you were my friend and family that I saw on a regular basis,
Yeah.
and I saw you at a barbecue, I would be like, girl,
Yeah.
let's sit down. Give
Yeah.
me some.
tea.
Like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
annoying is that?
Well, it's not really annoying. It isn't. Like, not everybody knows what I do in my small little
Sure.
town,
Okay.
right? But like the inner circle, they know.
Yeah.
A lot of my work is outside of where I work, so that kind of works.
And all your work, I feel like, is on the hush. Because if you're working for the big guys, and when I say big guys, I'm talking about CIA and FBI and those types of guys.
Yeah.
You're anonymous. So like, and you're not talking about it.
Right.
But then for other individuals, I guess it makes sense that who you're interacting with on a day-to-day probably isn't going to be asking you that.
Well, they do. Like my dad's really into it. It's like,
Oh,
do you
for
have
sure.
any
I would-
messages
yeah.
from my parents? And I'm like, yes, I do. You know.
Right.
But a lot of times, like the good information is told to me like ahead of time. So like I said, like I walked into the building and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I'm excited for you. I'm going to share that.
Yeah.
if somebody comes up to me, I can tune in. But a lot of the times with my ADHD, it's like I need to sit down with my headphones on and like focus. But yeah, I can tell if somebody's pregnant, or a lot of times with these cases, I'm like, this is going to be solved or this probably isn't going to be solved.
Wow.
Yeah. They just have different, like highly motivated or not that motivated.
Sure.
Sometimes people do and sometimes people don't. Some people are really scared. And I'm like, I'm not going to come out and bite you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to cast a spell on you. I don't do that. Like, I'm a regular person. I'm a regular
They
mom.
think you're going to come out with a witch's hat on.
Wait, but
and all that.
I actually have a question with,
Yeah.
you know how sometimes, I mean, I think I've either I'm regurgitating something that I've probably seen in a movie or a TV show. Or no, I think it was one of the documentaries that I was just watching, like Worst X or something. It gets deep.
Yeah,
like
I haven't
those
seen
ones.
those. Those look gnarly.
Yeah, these documentaries are kind of wild of what individuals actually go through. But I think on one of them, she went to a medium or a psychic. Or what's the difference? Are they the same?
Okay, a psychic's going to tell you future information. A medium is talking to somebody on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Can
so-
you be both?
And you're both.
Yes, I'm both. So
Okay.
not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychics.
Interesting. Oh my gosh, that's wild. And this individual went to then I guess a psychic, and they had told her that there is someone that you need to remove, like basically an evil person or a spirit or something in her life, and it happened to be the ex person or her
Yeah.
boyfriend, but obviously she didn't listen to the psychic whatsoever, and then you saw, like, you know, the destruction of what happened in that relationship.
Yeah.
Do those things come to you about certain individuals or cases or stuff like that, and that you have to end up delivering to that person?
Yes. But here's the deal. Like, I am single sport athlete. I like people to be blunt.
Yep.
I do not like beating around the bush, and I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yep.
Now, we could also read the room and be like, they might be too sensitive to hear this. And I'm like, are you sure you want me to let them know? And like, I'll get a yes or a no, you know? But what I want to say, follow up with like what you were saying, is that a lot of times we have intuition. That person ultimately knows, and they can choose to listen to that or not. So I just did a podcast with like a divorce lawyer. And she's like, if they would just listen to you on the front end of things, they wouldn't come and see me on the back end of things, you know? And so like, I'm a huge proponent of just people making them aware of like, you have a built-in security system, and that's your intuition. We gotta listen to it. Who cares if people think you're crazy? Like, I would rather be crazy than end up in a situation like that chick with her ex, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really, you're right.
I mean, I think like our intuition is, everybody has intuition.
Yeah.
Like, it's just whether or not we listen
For sure.
to it
It's
or
so
not.
true.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
I
conscious.
So true.
Yeah.
oftentimes I listen to my intuition, and like that's probably what I call God's will.
Yeah.
But it's still intuition.
Yeah.
And then there's other times when like I'm like, I know, but I'm doing it anyway.
Right. You
Like,
gotta weigh the cost.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
like this sounds fun to me right now.
Right. We're gonna ask for forgiveness and permission.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that like you have, when you're like raising kids, or right now, it's like you have a conscience. This is a good decision. This is a bad decision. And then consciousness is like all of this energy stuff. And then it goes back to your intuition, your conscious. We know if it's like a good move, a bad move, like your business opportunities. You've got to have a good feeling about it. But maybe one of them, you don't have a good feeling about it. You got, like, us listening to that is game changer.
So true.
It's all part of it. It's the same vibe as him on his out of body experience in his yoga retreat meditation, as it is those guys on Ibogaine, those vets, and us getting like a hunch in our belly, like this isn't right, or is that chick pregnant? You know, like yeah.
I just remembered something when I was a kid, because you know my religion was really, I mean, it was
Yeah.
hardcore.
Yeah.
Very, very like conservative. Seventh-day Adventists.
Right. But like the entire Bible was channeled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
It's funny, right?
Yeah.
So it was so bad, but like I remember being a kid, and I got a tape and it was like basically a tape that taught you how to be psychic, and I used to I used to do snort.
Stop.
I used to snort a line of meth.
Oh my gosh, Chad.
Put that tape on.
Chad.
Chad.
Yeah, I
Wow.
just remembered, and I had lots of things happen that were based off of the things that came to me through this. It was like a meditative
Yeah.
state.
It's connection.
Through utilizing your sixth sense.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's
And it
not-
was
that's
so
not,
like
that's not the right
it was
way to go.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like when I say that, I mean it was so what I wasn't supposed to do, and I'm talking like I was deep in this religion. Like,
Yeah.
I was born into it. I went to the private schools of it.
Boys and girls can't walk on the same side of the sidewalk.
It was not bad.
Gnarly. No, I'm familiar.
But it was like no makeup, no jewelry,
no pants for girls.
no pants. Yeah, girls. Everything had to come.
Just absolutely miserable.
It was like almost like how it's almost like Middle Eastern where they weren't allowed to show skin.
Oh, right.
This is
right.
misogyny.
That's
There you go.
misogyny.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. A woman has freedom just like a man has freedom.
Yeah, we could like roll around in a Speedo, no problem. But
Exactly. The second a chick pulls her hair
Yeah.
back, she's like going to
Right.
hell in a handbasket.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What? Yeah.
No.
it's crazy.
I know.
But like it was funny that I did this because I just went against.
Yeah.
I never really. I couldn't. I didn't. They didn't have my buy-in from the get-go.
Yeah.
You know, I will say I learned a lot from he ended up getting kicked out of the church, the preacher that I really like kind of changed my life because he taught grace.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually what I believe in now.
Yeah.
And even like based off of when you're opening,
Mm-hmm.
talking to us about the other side,
Yeah.
So regardless of what people believe, let's just pretend that we believe in Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Not pretend, but
I've seen Jesus
there's-
for the record. Like he's legit.
so
Oh my God.
this is
yeah.
what I believe, and it's almost exactly to what you said. So here on earth, there's going to be many people that never get introduced to Jesus.
Yeah.
But I believe that our souls already know who he is. And that when we die is actually when the second coming, if you want to talk about like what it talks about in the Bible, the second coming happens then. And when your soul sees Jesus reaching out to you and he asks you, do you know who I am? Your soul is going to say, yes, I do. Mm-hmm. I actually do. And then I also liked what you said because I believe we're going to have to walk through
Yeah.
all of that.
Yep. 100%.
And when you get through that to the other side of that pain
Yep.
that you caused other people,
You can join the general
you can
pop.
join
Yep. And
and you're forgiven and you have grace, and that's
Yeah.
when real unconditional love comes
yes.
to you.
Yes. Hot take is I don't believe in a hell anymore.
I don't either.
Yes, the closest thing to hell that I can see is what we're living now. Right? School shootings, Epstein stuff. I mean, like all this stuff that you cannot be farther away from on the other side. And there's people that I've seen in heaven that are like, I can't believe I actually am here. Like I never in a million years thought, you know? And it's changed the way I've thought about a million things. I am less of an asshole, and my mind is open and more loving than I was when I was going to church, you know?
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
it's interesting.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, this was an amazing podcast.
Yeah,
and
you're
thank you
awesome.
so
Guys,
much
this is
for-
so fun.
I mean,
down.
wait, I have one last question.
You do.
Yeah.
Because your work is so kind of all over the place with who you work with.
Yeah.
And when you work with them, does that mean that your schedule is literally just all over the place as well?
Time management is a huge thing for me. I do my readings and people reach out for casework on my websites, NicholeDuncanIntuitive.com. When my kids come home from school and my husband comes home from work, I try to put my phone away. I just try to be really intentional. life is chaotic as it is, and I can control my controllables. And then the more I can do that, the more regimented I am and the more productive I am. I really want to use this gift in a way that's honoring and like respectful and reverent to the other side. And if I am careless with my schedule and my time and my attention, I feel like I'm doing a poor job of that. So I really like time management is huge. I mean, people talk about like budgeting, finances. Our time is like the most valuable thing to me. So I try to be really intentional with my time, much better than I am at my finances.
Right.
Yeah, as my husband will tell you.
And then for everyone that is listening, do you offer readings to any like general public?
Yeah, I love them actually.
Okay, so if anybody is listening and wants one,
Yep.
where do they find you?
On NicoleDuncanIntuitive.com, and I'm also on Instagram at Nicole Duncan Intuitive.
Amazing.
Yay, thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you so
this
much.
is an
You're
honor.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
incredible.
Yes. Awesome. Thank y'all.
I mean, you changed my mind on the whole psychic thing.
Dude, people think we're witches, and I'm like, dude, I'm not. I don't want to do anything bad to you. Like, I've seen Jesus, but like.